welcome back. It is the Gone for 10 show. I will be your host tonight. I am Tony. I am joined by Baxter. Mate, another week of NRL is upon us. How are you feeling? And are you optimistic that the Cowboys take another 2 points?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Not optimistic, but I like our chances.
Well, as you can see right here, I'm in my Roosters gear. This is Rob's favourite kit. So I am wearing this for Rob. So if you are listening, make sure you drop a like, mate. But like you said, we are here for that Roosters versus Brisbane preview. We're going to pop the Rooster screen up on the TV. Number 1, James Tedesco. Number 2, Daniel Tupu. Number 3, Paul Momorowski. Number 4, Joey Manu. Number 5, Joseph Suwali. Number 6, Luke Keary. Number 7, Sam Walker. Number 8 is Hargraves. Number 9, Sam Verrills. Number 10, Matthew Lodge. 11, Angus Crichton. 12, Nate Butcher. 13, Victor Radley. 14, Connor Watson. 15, Ben Thomas. 16, Drew Hutchinson. 17, Terrell May. And 18th man, Adam Kieran, has been dropped, with the reserves currently being Fletcher Baker and Kevin Naguama. So that is the squads we have there. I'll let you go first and talk about this game before we jump into the Broncos. I guess, what do you see coming into this game? I know most bookies have this game in a -4.5 head start to Brisbane, so they have the Roosters as a short priced favourites. But talk to me through this lineup. What do you think about this lineup? And then obviously, who do you think gets the win? And then we'll obviously pop the Broncos team list up and review them.
Yeah, it looks strong on paper here. The Roosters, obviously, you got a quality of depth under that sombrero there, and yeah, look, you're hitting your strides at the right time here. Obviously, you got 5 games to go towards the back end of the season, and I think you've Robbo's nailed the timing right, and I think you'll run away with it and be a really, really tough team to beat in the finals. Look, who am I backing? I'm going to back the Roosters here, just purely on paper here. If I have to give a man in the match, he's going to be your centre, Joseph Manu. He's going to be the killer, and I hope he scores a try.
I will ask you, obviously, the Roosters will be missing Egan Butcher due to that 1 week suspension for the 80th minute head high. And obviously, Lindsay Collins is out concussed. How big of a loss do you think that is, obviously, to the Roosters pack? And can, I guess, Matthew Lodge, who's getting the start, bring that same enthusiasm to the squad?
Yeah, look, Lindsay's a big loss for you guys, obviously, being a part of that Queensland State of Origin squad, and I think he's got he leaves big shoes to fill. So hopefully, whoever's taking his spot is going to fulfill them, and I bet they will. I don't think anybody who wears the Roosters jersey ever lets it down. So it's going to be a good one, and can't wait to see it.
Yeah, obviously it's we will jump into Brisbane. As you can tell, I am a Roosters fan, so I do have a lot of questions. I have been pondering on a few things since last week's game, but obviously the Roosters seem to have hit their stride, like you said, but I think it's more about explosiveness from that dummy half row. We've seen a lot of Tedesco, Joey Manu, Connor Watson when he comes in. They like to really pick up that ball and try and catch people off guard from dummy half. But I guess my questions to you is, Suwali, he's a great player. He's absolutely knocking the house down when he plays. Do you think he is wasted on that win next to Joseph Manu? And do you think there's any chance where you could have Suwali and Manu in opposite centers? Because I just feel like that's going to be an absolute powerhouse if you have those boys in the centers.
Yeah, I think it's one for Robbo to sort of play around with. Obviously, not now. You need your best people in the right positions to get into the finals there, but it will be a powerhouse to see Suwali and Manu in centres. But I like Manu in a 6. Obviously, you're going to make way for Luke Keary to move on there. So it's sort of a question for you. Would you move Keary on if you had Manu playing 6?
Oh, it's one of those things, obviously, if Manu came up and said he's only going to stay at the club, or his long-term goal is to play in that number 6, then it's something you have to consider. Obviously, Luke Keary brings that experience, but obviously with his head knocks, he's probably only one head knock away from having to retire. So if that was the ultimatum, Manu did leave us, I mean, I'd probably be taking Joseph Manu, putting him into that obviously number 6 position, and then obviously finding a centre to fill that gap. But obviously, Baxter, there is two teams. There is two teams, obviously, to this game. As much as the last 5 minutes might not have told you, I'm going to pop it up there. It's all on to you. Do you want to talk us through that team list for those listening on Spotify? Because if you didn't know, we are on Spotify now. So please go ahead and listen to it there. But Baxter, take it away.
Obviously, in the fullback role, we've got Tessinu, Corey Oates, and Cobbo makes his return. On the wings, you've got Stags and Maranina. I can't pronounce that. In the centres, you've got obviously Ezra Mann in the 6, Reynolds in the 7, Thomas Flegler and Payne Haas as your props, Billy Walters is your hooker, Capo and Ricky is your second row, and Kobe Hetherington obviously replaces the suspended Carrigan, who got 4 matches. You got Turpin, Kennedy, Essien, and Palasilia on the bench, and you got Terry Martin there at 18. Look, we'll get into the big talking point. 4 matches. Do you reckon it was enough, or you going for more?
If I'm being completely honest, I think it's a touch light. You're going to look at a lot of things, and we will discuss other charges that did get handed out this weekend. But if you look at the textbook of a hip drop, this is a textbook hip drop. Now, again, they argued that the 2 players in there, they slowed down the play and they dropped, and that's what happened. But this is a textbook hip drop for me, and it's obviously ended Hastings' season. It's probably going to end his World Cup. He's going to be in a cast for 5 weeks, and I know you're not meant to obviously take the injuries into account, but I just think 4 weeks is just very, very, very low. What were your thoughts on the 4 weeks?
Look, taking my Queensland bias out of it, I'm more siding with the NRL here, and I think they needed to give him a little bit of a harsher penalty. Obviously, he's becoming one of these poster boys for the Brisbane Broncos, and I think, as you said, he got off really, really light, and I think it should have been more around the 6 to 8 week mark. The NRL need to stamp this tackle out, because we don't want to see anybody like Jackson Hastings sitting on the sidelines for, if possible, 3 to 4 months. So there goes his, as you said, World Cup hopes there, and hopefully he returns back for the Tigers and does well. But yeah, I'm leaning towards the heavy end there.
Yeah, and 100%. Obviously, you look at Nathan Cleary. He was given 5 weeks for his tackle on Dylan Brown. Again, Egan Butcher 1 week, Smalley 1 week. If you're playing rugby league and I'm looking at those tackles, I would rather get my head knocked off, because those things happen in rugby league. You're going to have tackles that slip up a little bit higher. They hit you in the head. You might be concussed for a week. You might miss a week. But to have someone obviously snap a bone like it did, I think the penalty needed to be harsher, because, like I said, when you look it up in the book, it is a textbook hip drop. But the one player I obviously want to talk, and we will touch on Carrigan's replacement, but it's that big in with Cobbo. How much of a, impact do you think that Cobbo will have on this game? And yeah, do you think that he can change the game into Brisbane's favour, or do you think they're just missing way too much?
He's a game changer there for the Brisbane Broncos. You've seen it in State of Origin. He came on like he's been in the squad for many, many seasons. And look, obviously went down with that accidental head knock there. And look, it's good to see that they've taken it seriously and rested him for a while now. Look, he's going to be an impact player. Obviously, he's one of those wingers that sort of get in nice and early, gets those meters for the forwards to lay the platform down. It's going to be a tight one, but as I said, Roosters, I'm backing them, and hopefully you can knock them down for me.
Yeah, obviously I'm going to side with the Roosters. I guess some people might say it's biased, some people might not. I'm going with the Roosters in a 1-12. I think it's going to be a tight game, obviously, tomorrow night out at the SCG. But The only thing really left to touch on is obviously the replacement for Carrigan. We've mentioned it. It is Heverington. What do you make of that? Because I look at obviously Carrigan and I think it was 10 to 12 games before he really hit his stride and really started to impress. Do you think Cobe can do the job, or do you think he's going to struggle there?
Nah, I think he'll be right. Right, I think he's I think he's surrounded by a few good men there. You know, you got Flegler, Walters, Haas, Capewell, and Ricky. I think he'll blend in, and he won't be targeted as much. So hopefully he plays well, but only time will tell.
Yeah, 100%. Well, obviously, there you go. We're both in unison that the Roosters are going to win. It's going to put us, again, 2 more points clear in that top 8. But obviously, if you are new around here, please hit like, please hit subscribe, and we will talk to you soon, obviously, with the Storm versus Titans Friday night preview.
Mm-hmm.